What's going on, boys and girls? Another day, another topic. All right, today we're kind of talking about unit rates. Remember what the magic number is for the unit rate? Is we're always trying to get to 1. We want to know the cost of 1. We want to know how much per hour. Remember those key words, per, cost per, how many minutes per, right? We always want to find when it comes to 1. But before we get to unit rate, I want to do a problem for you that was on your assignments today. So let's check out the date. It's 3/24/20. All right, so I want to talk about the one about the moon and the weight. So a person would weigh about 20 pounds on Earth. 120-pound person would weigh about 20 pounds on Earth's moon. 150-pound person would weigh 28 pounds on Io, a moon on Jupiter. It's probably Io, but Io, I can't tell. So we're going to use ratio tables to determine which moon would make a person weigh the most. All right? So if you remember, when we set up our table, we're comparing two things, right? So in this case, we're comparing the weight on Earth and the weight on Earth's moon. Okay? So I'm going to do pounds Earth, right, over pounds Earth's moon. All right, so I got 120 and I got 20. All right, and then I also got pounds Earth, and I also got pounds on Io, Jupiter's moon, or Io, whatever you want to call it, right? So we got 150, and we got 28. All right, so I have to think of a friendly number to break this down, because I'm not really trying to compare something that multiplies by 20 and 28, all right, because I'm going to think, and then you're going to do a lot of work. So I'm going to think of what numbers these two have in common. And right off the bat, what comes to my mind is 4. All right? So I'm going to break this 20 down. All right? I'm going to divide by 4 to get me to a friendly number. All right? 20 divided by 4 is 5. All right? And now remember the golden rule. What you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So I'm going to divide 120 by 4, right? And if you're having trouble with this, look, just cover that up. What's 12 divided by 4? Oh, why, that's 3. So 120 divided by 4, all I'm adding is a 0 to 12, so it's got to be 30, right? So now I'm going to do the same thing to this. 28 divided by 4 is 7. Now, unfortunately, 150 divided by 4 is not going to be even, so I'm going to do some quick maths on the side to see what I'm going to get for this box right here, right? So I'm going to do 4 divided by 150, right? I know 4 can't go into 1, so I'm going to check how many 4s fit into 15, all right? And I'm going to say 3, because 3 times 4 is 12. And if I said 4, that would go over 15, right? So now you do your little subtraction. You bring down the 0. So now I'm checking 4 into 30. So if I say 4 times 5, I know I got 20. 4 times 6, I know I got 24. So I know I can fit one more. So I'm going to do 4 times 7. And that's 28, right? And I got 2. Now, we're in 6th grade now. We don't do any remainders anymore. So don't forget. Now, when I have 4 cannot go into 2, right? So all I got to do is add a 0 here. And when I add a 0 here, I'm going to add a decimal. That's right. Add a decimal up here. So now I just check 4 into 20, and I get 5. All right? So for now, my box here is 37.5. So now I got to think to myself, 7 and 5, what do they have in common? Well, if you can't think of anything that 7 and 5 have in common, guess what you could do with both of them to find out what they have in common? Just multiply, right? So 7 times 5 is 35. So I'm just going to put 35 here, and I'm going to put 35 here. So what am I going to do to 5 to get to 35? Well, we just said that. I'm going to multiply by 7. Don't forget the golden rule. What you do to the bottom, you do to the top, right? So I'm going to multiply 30 by 7 too. All right, 30 times 7, with some quick maths, is 210. All right, so now how do I get from 7 to 35? Well, multiply by 5, right? Now what you do to the bottom, the golden rule, you do to the top, all right? So now I'm going to do 37.5 times 5, all right? So we got 5 times 5, that's 25. I got 7 times 5, that's 35, plus 2, that's 37. And I carry this, all right? 3 times 5 is 15, plus 3 is 18. All right, I got one decimal here. So I have one number behind my decimal. So I start here at the end, and I just go in 1, because that's how many decimals I have. So on Io, on Earth, I would weigh 187.5. But for this case, let's just round up, right? When I have 5, do I round up or do I round down? If you said round up, that's correct. So I'm going to round to 188. So the question is, use ratio tables to determine which mood would make a person weigh the most. And now we're comparing 188 and 210, and which one is more, 188 or 210? So if you said 188, unfortunately, that's not correct. It's 210, right? What would you rather have, $210 or $188? So on Earth's moon, you will weigh more. Okay. So that's how you do number 2. Now, let's just do a quick unit rate problem, all right? I'm just going to make this one off the top of my head. I go to the store. I'm going to buy Takis, okay? I know everyone loves Takis. So I'm going to buy 5 bags, okay? And the cost of the 5 bags is $10. So I want to know the cost of 17 bags, okay? So you know you can't get from 5 to 17 evenly. There's no friendly number. So I got to find the unit rate. And unit rate, the magic number, is always getting to 1. Uno, right? So I want to find out the cost of 1 bag. So ask yourself, how can I get from 5 to 1? I'm going backwards now, so you know that means I'm not going to multiply, I'm going to divide. So 5 divided by what is 1? And if you said 5, you're absolutely correct. So now what I do to the top, I'm going to do to the bottom, and now I'm going to divide $10 by 5. And with some quick maths, 10 divided by 5 is 2. So for 1 bag of Takis, it's $2. So now I want to find the cost of 17 bags. So how do I get from 1 to 17? Why? I multiply by 17, right? And then the golden rule, which you do to the top, you do to the bottom. So for 17 bags of Takis, is going to be $34. All right? Look at that. 17 bags of Takis for $34. You would be set for days with that, boys and girls. All right? If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop a comment in our Google Classroom. You know I'm on all day. You know I'm here to help you. All right? Do all your work. Be good. Be safe. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.